Here in Detroit, remember the events of 10 years ago today. We honor the heroes among us that emerged from September 11, 2001. As our nation continues to move forward, we reflect on this National Day of Remembrance.
The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers continue their assault on the Minnesota Twins this year. The Tigers have now won 13 of 17 against the Twins. Last night, it was Brandon Inge that did the honors, the walk-off home run, and the Tigers beat Minnesota again. It is a nice day for baseball here in the Motor City, and we welcome you to Comerica Park in downtown Detroit as we get you ready for baseball today. Tigers go for the sweep. Final game of this series featuring the Twins and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us as we wrap up this series, wrap up this homestand, hopefully with a sweep in the works here today. And the man in charge of getting that sweep, Rod, is a guy that has pitched awfully well since joining the Tigers, and that would be Doug Fister.
He has been tremendous. You never know what you're going to get when you get another pitcher from another team, especially a pitcher that had a losing record. But David Dombrowski, he was simply looking at the earned run average, knowing that with the Tigers' offensive team, they would put up enough runs for Mr. Fister to do his business. And boy, has he been outstanding this year. Tremendous late life on a moving fastball. He's about 6'8", and when he throws that breaking ball, as a hitter, it looks like it starts at your head and it ends up at your shoe top. He has been outstanding in a Tigers uniform, and the Tigers are happy to have him.
Doug Fister has walked only 3 batters since joining the Tigers. His control has been impeccable. He has flirted with the perfect game this year as well. Doug Fister will take the hill here this afternoon as the Tigers again try and chop down that magic number. It stands at right now at 9 right now. Tigers and Twins getting ready to do battle here at Comerica Park. Right now we send you back at the Call Sam Studios. Here's Trevor Thompson. This afternoon, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, Make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here is the starting lineup for the Minnesota Twins today. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jason Repko leads it off. He'll play in right field. Trevor Plouffe is at short. Joe Mauer, the DH. Luke Hughes is playing third base. Chris Parmalee at first. Joe Benson will play center. Their bottom three is Tassoni, Tolbert, and Butera. Here is the scouting report on Doug Fister presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
You have to love Doug Fister. And he's got tremendous late life on his fastball at the bottom of the strike zone. He's had a really good 12-6 breaking ball. He'll throw it at any count. And he works fast and fields his position. Really good pickup for the Tigers.
Well, the numbers certainly back that up. I mean, this guy had won just 3 ball games with the Seattle Mariners. Much different here with Detroit. He's got a little bit of offensive support. He has pitched well. And he is ready to go here as the Tigers go for the sweep this afternoon against Minnesota. Jason Repko will lead it off. The sun is shining right now. It's kind of cloudy and overcast this morning. First pitch of the ball game is outside to Repko. He'll be followed by Plouffe and then Joe Mauer. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon on a 72-degree day in the Motor City. There's a strike called, and Repko now has a count of 1-1.
Expect, for the most part, the Minnesota Twins hitters to be very aggressive today against Fister. He throws nothing but strikes.
1-2 the count.
And they're not just strikes, they are quality strikes. He stays out of the middle of the plate. Works on the corners inside and outside, south of the knees.
Repko batting .236. And a ground ball foul. Danny Valencia was in their starting lineup today. He is scratched. Luke Hughes is in. So really, when you look at their lineup, you've got Joe Mauer and some names that we're not used to seeing in their starting lineup.
This is not the way they drew it up in spring training. That much is for sure. Bill Smith, their general manager, Ron Gardenhire, their manager. Manager of the year last year was Gardenhire. And no one told him it was going to be this tough this year.
Not at all. The 1-2 is grounded foul. The Minnesota Twins at 59-86. The Tigers have won 83 games. Their walk-off win yesterday makes them 83-62. The two teams obviously heading in much different directions. Mr. Inge was the hero yesterday. Got him, strike 3. Repko is out of there, and a good start for Fister.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. It's Adelman Young, Austin Jackson, Magglio Ordonez in the outfield. It is Inge and Peralta on the left side of the infield. Rayburn Cabby on the right side. And a rare afternoon off for Alex Avila. Omir Santos gets the nod behind the dish today.
Avila catching his breath this afternoon. That's a good thing. He has really gotten pounded yesterday. Jim Leland said he took a couple of foul tips that really took their toll on Alex.
I saw a couple of those.
So Avila just hanging out in the dugout today. 1 ball, 1 strike on Trevor Plouffe. He's batting with 1 out. Plouffe at .235 this year. Slow roller hit toward shortstop, cut off at third by In. And Plouffe is out, 2 gone.
Nothing Fister throws is straight. Even when he throws a four-seam fastball, it still has some movement on it. This ball just runs in on the hands of Plouffe and saws his bat in half. You don't have to throw 95 miles an hour up here to be effective if you have the kind of command that Doug Fister has. He changes speeds well. He holds runners well, fields his position. He does a lot of things right for a good quality starting big league pitcher.
Here is Joe Mauer now with 2 outs. Mauer homered in the ball game yesterday. It was the Twins' first homer since September the 4th.
And only his 3rd of the year. And all 3 of Mauer's home runs this year have come on the road away from Target Field.
Now the 0-1. Lifted in the air. Shallow left field for Delman Young. And Fister has a very quick and efficient 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the bottom of the first. Central Division title as they try and finish off the Twins here today. His starting lineup looks like this, presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Ordonez, Young featured at the top today. Cabrera's at first base. Victor is DHing. Rayburn is getting the start at second base. And you've got Peralta, Inge, and Santos rounding out the lineup today for Detroit. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Scott Diamond. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Straight over the top delivery with just about everything that he will feature here today. He has some developing off-speed pitches, which is usually the case with young pitchers, and his numbers in the minors weren't very good. He lost 14 games and won only 4.
And so Austin Jackson will start things off. Jackson, Ordonez, Young. Austin batting .254 with 9 home runs this year. Showing bunt, and he takes it outside 1-1.
Arguably, this will be the most difficult lineup that Diamond has ever faced. And he's facing the Tigers when they are sizzling hot.
And the 1-1. Ground ball off the glove of the third baseman Hughes. No chance. And Jackson is aboard to start off the inning.
Here we go. That's what will aid Jackson in getting a whole lot better if he shows bunt every now and then. Because he did show bunt on the first pitch, and that brought Hughes in. And that's the difference in Hughes not being able to make the play on this smash off Jackson's bat. The fact that he was a couple of steps in front of that third base bag.
And so the Tigers get a leadoff hit from Jackson. That'll bring up Ordonez. Swing and a miss by Maglio.
If that third baseman has no fear of that hitter bunting, then they play a little deeper. And he makes that play.
Diamond making his second start against the Tigers this year. He started against them on August 26th, giving up 5 runs in 6 1/3. Allowing 10 hits in that game. Threw 91 pitches in that contest. Walked only 1.
But that's the key for him. He can't put extra base runners on because he's going to give up some hits.
Here's the 0-2. And he just missed the outside corner. 1-2 on Ordonez.
A real slow, deliberate delivery out of the stretch for Diamond. Should Jackson be in a running mood, if he guesses correctly, he could walk to second base.
Line back up the middle into center. Jackson will go to second and stop there.
What is up with this offense? Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins defensively here today. Behind Diamond, Tosoni, Benson, Repko in the outfield. Hughes, Proof, Tolbert, Parmalee in the infield, and Drew Butera is the catcher today.
Here are the minor league numbers on Scott Diamond this year with AAA Rochester. ERAs, you see, about 5.5. He was 4 and 14 at AAA.
You know what that says about him, those 14 losses? They're still high on him because most kids don't get a chance to lose that many games in the minors.
Absolutely. Swing and a miss. And Diamond is really an interesting story. He was an undrafted free agent originally by the Braves and then a Rule 5 pick by Minnesota. So never really was a highly touted prospect.
You have to pitch your way to the big leagues. And you have to be playing for a team that's had a lot of injuries.
Here's the 0-1. Delman takes a ball outside. Well, the Twins certainly qualify in the injury department. They are currently without Justin Morneau, who has had concussion problems and is having more of those problems now. And Michael Kadyr's out with a bad wrist.
No Span, no Kubel today.
Right. So they are really shorthanded. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup by Diamond. He's already thrown 3 changeups today. He threw 1 to Maglio, and he's already thrown 2 to Delman Young. The one thing that he might get himself into trouble doing is showing that changeup too early and too often, because some of those Tigers hitters, the veterans at least, will start sitting on that pitch.
Here's the 1-2. Delman loops one to center field, sinking, base hit. Jackson rounding third. They send him home. Austin will score, and it's an RBI single for Delman Young.
3 of the 4 pitches he threw to Delman Young were changeups, and you really can't do that to a dangerous right-handed bat. You see the grip, it's the circle change, and all of a sudden he throws it in the same area that he threw the previous 2. It's a good pitch, don't get me wrong, but Delman is sort of looking for it. So he reaches out off the plate, and he finds some real estate in center field for a base hit and an RBI.
3 straight hits greeting Scott Diamond here. Young gets his 51st RBI. And the Tiger offense rolling early here today. Still nobody out for Miguel Cabrera. Doug Fister gets some early offense.
Doug Fister kind of liking his new club, isn't he?
Oh, he was getting less than 2 runs a game in Seattle.
Worse than the majors.
Those days have changed for him, and he has really provided a spark in the rotation as well. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball back towards second. Oh, and it's bobbled by Tolbert. Everybody is safe, and that's a routine double play. And they're loaded up.
And Tolbert got ahead of himself. Basically took his eye off the baseball and thought about making the play instead of fielding the baseball. He looked up right there, and that caused the bobble, and he couldn't get anybody.
That is the 105th error of the year for Minnesota. Only 3 teams have more than 100. Minnesota, Texas, and Oakland. Here's Martinez with the bases loaded.
How has Texas made that many errors with that quality team and that many athletes?
No clue. 108 errors for Texas. They're in first place in the West. Smothered behind the plate by Butero. 1-0 on Martinez. Victor is 9 for 15 with the bases loaded this year.
Well, you know there's going to be contact. He very seldom strikes out.
It's a strike called, 1-1.
And just about every single pitch that Diamond has thrown to the right-handers that Jim has loaded his lineup with today has been away. He has not showed a fastball inside yet.
Of course, the Tigers all year long have had Cabrera and Martinez among the league leaders with men in scoring position. They both come in at .398 atop the American League. 2-1.
Well, this was Wednesday, and it was in Cleveland, and the bases were loaded, and it was Tony Sipp, and it was V Money, and he shot him to left field, right-handed. JV couldn't believe it.
Part of just a tremendous year for Victor, who comes in with 90 RBIs. Here's the 2-1. Way high. 3 balls, 1 strike on Martinez. So Diamond, who should have had a double play ball, is now dealing with Victor with the bases loaded. And the 25-year-old out of Guelph, Ontario, is in a jam here early. Trying season for Ron Gardenhire. There's no doubt about that. And you are not used to seeing his team toward the bottom of the league in pitching and defense, but that has been the case this year. Bouncing ball right side. Let's see if they get 2 this time. There's 1. Relay is in time, although it was a double pump for Plouffe. They get the double play. Run scores. 4-6-3. Score Ordonez on the play. No RBI there for Victor. How about the last 15, though? All against the American League Central. The Tigers offense, one of the big reasons why the Tigers are pulling away.
9 of 17 games left against the AL Central as well, where they hold a 42-21 record. They have been dominant against the AL Central.
Ryan Rayburn stands in. Young at third base with 2 outs. Ryan batting .238. And in typical Rayburn fashion, having a really good second half. .308 in the second half of the season. 0-2.
Well, the last 2 years combined, you see the second half has been a whole lot better. In fact, 100 points better in the average column.
Jim knew as much. That's why he kind of stuck with Rayburn during the first half. He played him on occasion.
Goes down swinging there to end the inning. Tigers get a pair, though, and we go to the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by the new Craven Chicken Sandwich at Arby's. Arby's, it's good mood food. Back here at Comerica Park on a National Day of Remembrance. And the Tigers wearing Old Glory on their caps here this afternoon at the ballpark. Beautiful ceremony before the game with a lot of our men and women who serve our cities, firefighters, police officers, all honored here today. Pfister back to work here in the second, leading it 2-0. It is Hughes, Parmalee, and Benson here in the Twins' second. Here's the 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Back in 2001, I was a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks organization and broadcasting games for them. And, of course, we went to Ground Zero shortly after 9/11. Tigers and the Yankees were in the World Series that year. And they loaded up a couple of buses, buddy, and we went over to Ground Zero.
There's a shattered bat roller slowly toward third. Inge with a nice play.
I said Tigers, but it wasn't the Tigers. It was the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. Wishful thinking. But anyway, amazing to get over there and to go to Ground Zero and smoke still smoldering from the towers coming down and seeing the faces of the firefighters and the police officers and just seeing the smiles of guys like Luis Gonzalez and Steve Finley and Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling that they put on these people's faces when they were going through a tough time.
Those are memories, I would imagine, that are seared into your memory and that will never go away.
And then the World Series went 7 games, unbelievable World Series. Never, ever forget that week.
Chris Parmalee, the batter here, with 1 out. Tigers lead 2-0. Parmalee is 5 for 14 in the big leagues. It's being called up. The one thing that really kind of sticks with me is that first pitch that President Bush threw out at Yankee Stadium, which absolutely had to be chilling, and what a moment.
He threw it right down the plate, too. And then he put the thumbs up and he said, you know what, we're going to be all right. He told the whole country, we're going to be all right. That was a special day.
2-1 on Parmalee.
Took about 3 hours to get into the ballpark. It was amazing for some of the people, but it was unbelievable.
Only imagine. Pfister drops in a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Parmalee, one of the youngsters the Twins are taking a look at. He's hit safely in his last 4. He's got some power, but he waves and misses. Pfister takes care of him. That's his second strikeout. By the way, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Well, a typical start for Doug Fister, 5 up, 5 down.
He's been awfully efficient, hasn't he?
He threw only 12 pitches in that first inning. Here's Joe Benson. There is strike one. I'm not sure the Tigers anticipated that Fister would be quite this good when they got him. They anticipated he would certainly help out the rotation, but he's been awesome. He's won 4 games, has an ERA of 2.64 in a Tigers uniform. And he's ahead here 0-2 on Benson. That's a broken bat.
That's 3 of them already. He has thrown 24 total pitches already here today, and only 5 have missed the strike zone.
Outstanding ratio early on here, which really comes as no surprise because Fister has walked only 3 in a Tigers uniform. He'll shoot that one fair down the right field line. Benson rounding. He'll go to second, and the throw not in time. McNeil made it close.
That pitch right there, most veteran hitters, they don't even swing at it. It's off the plate. It's a ball. But young hitters, they're kind of tough to set up if you don't really know them. And that ball was off the plate outside. He reached out and was able to hit that ball back the opposite way. Give Benson some credit.
It's his 3rd big league hit, diving into second ahead of the tag. 2-out chance now for Rene Tassoni.
It's one of the challenges you have if you're some of the Tigers starting pitchers. And even when Fister was with Minnesota, you're used to seeing Kubel, you're used to seeing Morneau and Mauer and Span. Now all of a sudden you're seeing Tassoni and Benson and Parmalee, guys you really don't know a whole lot about. So it's tough sometimes to pitch to these guys early in games. But Fister having no problem so far.
And you lean on scouting reports until you actually see these guys face to face.
A lot of the scouting report on these young kids are coming from the minors.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tassoni. Checked it, and it missed outside. 2-1. Tigers grab 2 in the bottom of the first. They lead 2-0 here in the second. And a bouncing ball to second. It's a routine play there for Ryan Rayburn, and the inning is over. No runs, 2-out double is stranded. 1.5 in the books. Ron Gardenhire thinking about next season. Jim Leland thinking about the first round of the playoffs, which appears it's where the Tigers are headed. They are trying to put the finishing touches on this division this year. And Peralta leads it off with a base hit to left center. Tigers picking up where they left off in the first inning. Leadoff man on. Remember last time we went to Minnesota in July? It was actually July 21st. This is what it looked like in terms of the standings.
It was real close. Minnesota was just 5 games under 500 at that time and 5 games off the pace. But how about today?
Much different story. Minnesota 24 out. Tigers have a 9.5 game lead. Big round of applause for Brandon Inge, who steps in, had the game winner yesterday. And he looks at ball 1. Tigers have their 4th hit already. Shot in the air to right field, hit pretty well. To the wall to make the catch, Repko. Inge made a bid the other way. 1 out. That'll bring up Omir Santos. Did you know that the Twins today are looking to avoid being swept for the 11th time this year? Boy, oh boy. That's the type of season it has been for Minnesota. They've been swept 10 times this season. Santos giving Avila a much needed day off today. Omir is a veteran catcher signed by the Tigers in the offseason. He's had big league time with a couple of different teams.
And it just so happened that the only other opportunity that he had to catch up here, he caught Doug Fister and did a marvelous job doing so that day. And he caught him for the very first time.
Here's the 0-1. And that's a base hit out of the reach of Luke Hughes. Well, Leland was saying before the game, this guy's not an automatic out. He can hit a little bit.
He's had a lot of injuries, and they say that's been his problem. One of the reasons why he really hasn't flourished in the big leagues. He's just had a lot of injuries, but he can handle the pitching staff. He goes down and gets a fastball from Diamond. Very little effort, and just laces the ball right past the third baseman.
Foxmo giving you a nice long look at the base hit by Santos. Here's Austin Jackson, who had an infield single back in the first and scored a run. Jackson 211 this year with runners in scoring position, but he's gotten a whole lot better toward the final month and a half of the season overall offensively.
One of the things that the Tigers are doing very well this year, and it's something that Jim and Lloyd McClendon, they've harped on for the last few years, and that's not giving away any at-bats. Every single guy that goes to the plate, quality at-bats.
And you have seen evidence of that, I think, in the last month or so.
Runner on second, nobody out, they're getting him over. Runner on third, less than 2 outs, getting him in. They've been squeezing, they've been bunting, they've been doing a lot of good offensively.
1-2 on Jackson. Waving to miss. Diamond got him that time.
Hey fans, attention motorcycle enthusiasts. Thursday, September 22nd is bike night at Comerica Park when the Baltimore Orioles come to town. Take advantage of special ticket packages, including game tickets, free motorcycle parking, food, and bike night t-shirts. For tickets, call 313-471-2255.
You gonna be rolling on your hog that night?
I'm scared of bikes.
Me too.
I'm scared of motorcycles.
Strike one on Ordonez. Maglio had a single back in the first inning. He now has hit safely in 11 straight. The 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on Mags. Tigers already today with 5 hits. They had a total of just 6 hits the entire day yesterday.
And Brandon didn't even start in the game, and the only at bat that he got was a big fly to end the game. That's a good pitch right there by Diamond. It gives the Tigers hitters something else to think about. Even though you don't go in there for a strike, at least you've showed them that you're not afraid to go in there.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But the thing with most young pitchers and even veteran pitchers, once they do show you that fastball inside, very few double up with the fastball inside again. Verlander does it very well, but of course he's got a 95-mile-per-hour heater. Most guys will show you the fastball in and then simply go right back outside with something soft, as Diamond did there to Ordonez.
Let's see what he comes in with now on 2-2. Swing and a miss. We got him to chase. 3rd strikeout of the game for Diamond. Tigers strand a pair. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Really dramatic home run.
Well, he did it on April 13th here at Comerica Park. That was walk-off variety. And then a big home run when he came back from the minor leagues after a short stint down there. And then he also did it yesterday, walk-off fashion. So Brandon Inge has just had a flair for the dramatic in some big home runs here at Comerica Park that he has hit.
Boy, that one he hit yesterday. You talk about electric. 2 outs in the 9th. And another exciting Tigers win.
I was sitting at home yesterday, and my wife was there, and we're just kind of sitting there watching the game. And I'm thinking he's going to hit a home run, and did not say it. And I was so upset that he hit it. And then I'm jumping up and down, and I told her, I said, I knew he was going to do it.
Doesn't count if you don't say it.
And those are the kind of moments that, as a broadcaster, when you're at the ballpark, you love them because you usually say those kind of things.
Right. Hey, he's popped up behind the plate. Santos will watch this one get back in the seats.
And just kind of further validates how special this season has become.
Well, you usually on your way to the playoffs, you have a handful of nights that you recall throughout the season that are very special. And the Tigers this year have had a lot of those. But yesterday certainly was one of them. It was a ball high.
When you think about the Verlander no-hitter, which pretty much got it started because they started rolling after that. And we've talked about the offense up and down with Cabrera and his walk-off, and Victor and Peralta and Avila, and then the walk-off throw out at the plate by Austin Jackson. So many special moments.
Bouncer right back to the mound. Fister can field that position. One gone.
That is the key. Once you deliver the ball toward home plate, you become a defender, and Fister realizes that because he throws so many ground balls. Once he lets it go, he's in position to make a play. And he is right there, and Johnny on the spot. He makes glove up, makes the play, gets the out.
So Fister has allowed just one hit in this game. That was the Benson double back in the second. They did not score him, though. Here's Butera. He fouls it straight back. Drew Butera doing the catching today with Mauer DHing. 163 average this season. A couple of homers.
You know, we were talking about the scouting report on some of these young players that Minnesota has now.
The soft liner caught by Raven.
And there's really not a lot of data on them. But the Tigers have called up their AAA manager, Phil Nevin, who has had a chance to see a lot of these Minnesota Twins players. And there's no doubt that he can give a very good scouting report to whoever asks him about the scouting report.
Yeah, you'll see that every now and then organizations will call up their minor league managers, pitching coaches. There's Phil Nevin, who managed Toledo.
Phil's a good player.
Really good player. Former #1 pick of the Astros. And had himself a nice big league career. Now managing. And you would have to imagine he does have a nice scouting report on many of these fellas.
It didn't take him long to get to AAA either. He's a hot prospect. AA 1 year, AAA the next year. And a lot of the players I talked to about Phil said his communication skills were tremendous, and that's what you need to be a good manager. Communication skills, handle the media, and deal with the players, and push the right buttons.
One ball, one strike on Jason Repko, who struck out to start the game. And he lines this one foul. Is that another broken bat?
Did they bring enough? I don't even think they brought enough. I mean, this is the last day of the series, and they have to be running out.
How many is that today? 4?
At least 4. And they're not hairline fractures either, buddy.
Ugh. That's the best sound a pitcher could ever hear, I think.
Those you can't use anymore.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Repko goes down, swinging again. Another strikeout for Fisker. 3 in the game. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T. Powerade Ion 4. Focus, hustle, hydrate, believe. And by Dan, high-quality ingredients create a high-quality product. Back here at Comerica Park as we go to the bottom of the third. Delman Young leads it off.
4 of the 5 pitches that Delman Young has seen today from Diamond have been changeups.
And Delman had a single to knock in a run his first time up. He's behind in the count now, 0-2.
Apparently the Minnesota Twins probably feel like they've got a pretty good idea the strengths and weaknesses of Delman Young, who wore their uniform last year and half of this year.
Shoots that one to right field, slicing away from Repko. He can't get there, base hit.
That's what good hitters do. They get jammed with 2 strikes.
Well, sometimes at the trading deadline things work out. Sometimes they don't. This year they have certainly worked out with this trio.
They're all getting it done. And Betemit doesn't get a chance to play all that often, but when he does, he just comes up huge as he did yesterday. Delmon Young hitting over 300, and we've well documented how good Doug Fister has been.
Young is 2 for 2 as Cabrera stands in. Tigers have 6 hits, all singles. Here's Dave checking this one out from his box high above Comerica.
I know the Tigers have Fister and Delmon Young under control. Delmon at least for one more year. Fister beyond that. Not quite sure what Betemit's situation is. We'll get that to you when we find out.
1-0 on Cabrera. Miguel reaching on an error by Tolbert. It was back in the first inning. He hit a tailor-made double play ball that Tolbert booted. And he hits this one on the line to right field. Repko. And he's going to gun it back to first base. And Delmon had to hustle back there. One gone.
Delmon must have thought this ball was going to get into the gap, because he almost went too far.
Boy, was that close.
Umpire right there, too. Betemit is a free agent after this year, so he can go where he wants to go, or he can simply come back if he's invited back. But as I mentioned, the Fister and Delmon Young, they will be back.
Here's Victor Martinez. You know, sometimes these trades that general managers will make at the trading deadline are, what do they call them? Just rental players, where they know that they're probably not going to come back at the end of the year. You take a shot and hope that you can win it this season. Not so with a couple of guys the Tigers have got.
They're going to be good. Already good.
Fister has lengthened the rotation. Young has lengthened the lineup. So is Betemit. Ball high to Victor. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez hit into a double play back in the first. That allowed a run to score. And that made it 2-0 Detroit. It still stands at 2-0 as we play here in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball to third. Scooped up there by Hughes to second one. And another double play ball. This one goes 5-4-3, and we head to the fourth.
A bit while I was there, and just kind of sat back and watched him work, watched him prepare for a start, you know, those kind of things, and just kind of picking up tendencies and picking up his ideas and possibly, you know, using them in my game. And so I've kind of done the same thing here with Justin.
How about that? Learning from Felix Hernandez and Justin Verlander. What a really, I would imagine, a treat for Fister this year.
No question about that. And guess what? This just in. There's going to be some pitchers that start to learn from Doug Fister.
Yeah, before too long, Trevor Plouffe Fouls off the first pitch.
Watching the way that he goes about his business on a day-to-day basis, not just on the days that he pitches, but on the days when he's not on the bump.
Plouffe bounced out back in the first. Well, if he's studying Verlander, probably won't be too long before he shows up in the clubhouse with that game face on, man. Just goes right to his locker with the headphones on. Dialed in.
Works for JV.
It does. Strike called, 1-2. Verlander enjoying a day between starts, watching Fister work today. Slow roller towards short, backhanding Peralta. Plouffe is out. One gone here in the fourth. Fister just doing what he always does, and that's just kind of meander through all these lineups. He has struck out 3. He's given up just 1 hit, which was a double back in the second. That came with 2 outs and didn't score. Joe Mauer, the batter. Ball 1 to Mauer. We're talking about how the Tigers have really manhandled the Twins this year. The Tigers have 13 wins in the season series over Minnesota. And the 13 losses for the Twins, the most in team history in a single season to Detroit. So that's how much this series between these two clubs has turned around. It wasn't too long ago where Minnesota had their way with the Tigers. That one just missed. 2-1.
A couple of really good managers and that have a lot of respect for one another.
Three and 1 on Mauer. Jim Leland is always saying about how much he respects the job that Ron Gardenhire has done over the years. Calls him one of the best managers in the American League, if not the game.
Well, Ron Gardenhire learned from Tom Kelly. And Tom Kelly was one of the most recognized and outstanding managers in the game when he was managing the Minnesota Twins.
Hard hit ball to left, but Delman runs it down. 2 gone.
Hey fans, join baseball's most interactive forum with Fox Sports Game Connect. It includes in-depth stats, player trends, and a live Twitter feed that captures all social media discussions about today's game. It's Fox Sports Game Connect. Try it out now at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Here is Luke Hughes with 2 outs. Fister has retired. 11 of the first 12 that he has faced in this game. One ball, 1 strike on Hughes. Hughes had a big game against the Tigers back on the 28th of August. Hit a couple of homers. Had a 5 RBI game. Ooh, look out.
Got a little mean streak in him, too.
Apparently.
Don't be diving out over the plate. He straightened him up, didn't he? Wow. Talk about straightening somebody up.
Hughes takes inside again. 3-1.
I like that. He went right back inside with a good fastball. That's what we were talking about last half inning. Not many guys do that. He missed with it, but the intent was good.
That one's in there for a strike. 3-2.
Another packed house here at Comerica Park today.
Full count pitch. Bouncer knocked down by Fister. Stays with it nicely.
Stop it, Doug.
1-2-3 inning here in the fourth. We go to the bottom half. Tigers still on top 2-0. Well, the Tigers have a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning and what has turned out to be a gorgeous afternoon here at the ballpark. We had some clouds early on when we arrived this morning, but the sunshine now breaking through the clouds.
It's kind of how the day started out yesterday as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Ryan Rayburn is leading it off for the Tigers, and he takes a ball high. 2-0. Rayburn struck out back in the first. He'll be followed by Peralta and then Brandon Inge. A 2-0. He's swinging line drive right at Luke Hughes. First out of the inning. Trivia time. And as it is every day, brought to you by our good friends at AT&T. Among active players, who has the most walk-off home runs with their current team? And that is your question today. Brandon Inge has 6 with the Tigers. Could that be him?
That's a pretty good number.
That is really good. 6 walk-offs for Brandon now. Peralta looks at ball 1. Tigers got a couple of runs in the first, but Diamond has settled in. He's had a couple of double play balls, which has helped him out.
I took one stab at the trivia question, and I was told I was wrong. Not the first time.
The truck just shut you down.
Shut me right down. I was in the vicinity, though.
Where? 3 balls, no strikes.
Might as well green light him. If he gets a fastball about 88 miles an hour down the middle, let him go.
He takes outside, ball 4. Here's an update. I took a guess too, and the truck shut me down.
Wow.
Oh, we both have the. Our guys are tied for second, we're told.
And 2 different guys.
2 different guys, right?
I guess Big Papi.
I guess Tommy. So it's neither of those 2. We're giving way too many hints. Here's Brandon. Inge flied out his first time up. And he looks to strike 1. Tigers have 2 runs, 6 hits. The Twins, no runs on 1 hit. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Inge now has played 987 games as a third baseman for Detroit, which is 3rd all time at that position in Tigers history. And the 1-1. Ground ball left side. It's going to find a hole. Base hit. So the Tigers threatening again.
And Plouffe, shortstop, shading Brandon Inge up the middle, therefore not able to get back into a regular position to make that play.
Seven Tigers hits. And again, all of the Detroit hits in this game have been singles against Diamond. Here's Omir Santos. In there for a strike. 0-1 on Omir, who's singled back in the second. Santos' previous big league time was briefly with Baltimore in 2008. Also played over in the National League with the Mets in 2009. There go the runners. And a bouncing ball to first. Parmalee will hit the bag for the out. Runners advance. 2 gone.
And Jim put the hit and run on with Inge and Peralta vacating the bases, and Santos put it in play but didn't hit it hard enough to find a seam in the infield with the infielders moving all over the place. But the key here is you have to put the ball in play, and that wasn't a very good pitch to hit. But when you see hit and run, you've got one job and one job only.
Jackson cuts and misses. Austin a strikeout and an infield hit. And he came around to score the Tigers' first run of the game back in the first inning. Jackson right now is 1 home run shy of reaching double digits in doubles, triples, homers, and steals. We just need that one more home run. He has 9 right now. He's knocked in 42.
Real nice two-way player. Stellar defensively. Made another outstanding grab in that ball game yesterday.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was
unreal.
Earlier in the game, which kind of got lost a little bit.
Right.
But it was terrific nonetheless. There's a high drive to center. Benson is under this one. And the Tigers once again turned away. We played 4 here at Comerica. Fifth inning, time now for the Farmers Insurance report card, and here it is. Tigers' current 8-game winning streak. Last time the Tigers won 8 straight in September. Can you believe this? It was 1968. The last time the Tigers had an 8-game winning streak in the month of September that year, they won 11 on their way to the World Series. As we go to the 5th inning today, it's Parmalee leading it off. Pfister brings in a breaking ball high, 1-0. Parmalee, Benson to Sony against Doug Pfister here in the 5th. Parmalee got his first big league hit. It was a single off Jake Peavy back on the 6th of this month. Same day he was called up. Picked up his first major league hit. Here's the strike call, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2 the count.
Good fastball. Late life, 91 miles an hour by Pfister. He means business. Not wasting any time. Look at the location of that pitch.
I would imagine the only guy on the field that doesn't like this pace that Pfister has is the hitter, because the defense does, the umpires do, and certainly his manager does.
Great point. And we've even watched in some of the starts that Pfister has had here with us, and where the opposing hitters try to slow him down by stepping out, but it really doesn't work. His concentration is tremendous.
3-2 on Parmalee. Benson and then Tassoni here in the 5th. Pfister has struck out 3 in this game, and he has 3 1-2-3 innings, and he walked him. So the leadoff man is on. We go back to the studio now. Time for a game break with Trevor Thompson. Thanks, Trev. Can you believe what Tampa's doing?
They have the kind of pitching that could get them right back in it, as they are.
Look out. Another pitch up and in. Well, as you look at the American League East standing, you see Boston is trailing by 2.5, but their lead on Tampa is only 4.5 for the wild card. And Boston will play Tampa 4 times next weekend, so it's anything but decided.
Jim Leyland, he points to that 4-game series where the Tigers went down to Florida and won 3 of the 4 games, even though they didn't score a lot of runs, didn't get a lot of hits, but they won the games. He points to that as one of the turning points of this year.
And I buy it. I believe it absolutely, because those were really hard-fought victories that the team had to grind through. We use that word quite a bit in the month of September, grinding wins out, but they certainly had to.
I believe the club scored only 11 runs in that 4-game series, but yet able to win the majority of those games.
There's the 1-1. There's a strike call. 1-2 on Joe Benson.
And that's the main reason why Tampa is still in it. In their division, their pitching, because their offense hasn't been that good this year.
No, I came away from that Tampa series thinking, man, these guys can really throw it, but the offense is really going to struggle. Longoria has been kind of in and out all season long. Benson fouling one off. It's Lester and Shields going today, and Shields is rolling up those complete games.
Right.
Pretty amazing the year he's had.
Breakout season for him. Big game James, they call him.
That'll go foul. 11 complete games this year for Shields.
You don't see that very often.
And the closest guy to him is Felix Hernandez with 5.
He's lost 10 games. Only because his team hasn't scored a lot of runs for him.
That was close.
Fister nearly impossible to run against. We've already seen him field his position. And he walked Parma Lee, and that was only the 4th hitter he has walked in 48 innings in a Tigers uniform.
And down goes Benson swinging. 4th strikeout for Fister.
Take a look at the late life on this pitch. If you're the right-handers, you know he's coming in there because he's gone in there with regularity. He's already broken 4 bats. So you're kind of looking in there, and then when you see the ball that's inside, you swing at it, and then the late life on his fastball carries it off the plate in.
Here's Tassoni. What's also impressive about Fister is a lot of times when guys are acquired at the trading deadline, there's certainly a lot of pressure to perform quickly with your new team in a pennant race. Fister has not really had that period where he's had to adjust to his new team.
I think one of the things that has allowed Fister to really slot in and just do a really good job is the fact the Tigers have some bona fide superstars on their roster. I mean, you have guys like Verlander. Scherzer is very good too. You got Papa Grande. You got the big offensive weapons, so he could just come and relax and just kind of fit in.
There's a soft liner to center, base hit. Tassoni has a single.
I mean, you look at some of the other big pieces that were traded at the trade deadline. You look at Ubaldo Jimenez. They were really counting on him to be a big piece to what they were going to do the second half of the year. Yeah, and then you start to look at Beltran, who went to San Francisco. Big piece to their offense. You know, Fister kind of just waddled in and kind of did a nice. Even Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence, he was not counted on to carry that squad.
No, he wasn't. I love your description of Fister waddling in. Well, 2 on with 1 out. And there's a strike call. That Hunter Pence deal, man, well, that was met with a lot of fanfare. And the Phillies are a really good team.
Oh, boy, are they.
One ball, 1 strike on Matt Tolbert. Tolbert, by the way, is over his last 16. He bounced one right back in the mound back in the third. So he is struggling right now.
Tolbert should never really go 0 for 16. Yeah, but I would bet that the 0 for 16 is in a span of probably a week or so. He doesn't play every day, but when you have his kind of speed, you have to use the bunt. Get the ball on the ground and get yourself a base hit. He can stay out of those 0 for 16s.
Here's the 2-1. There's a nice stop at short by Peralta. Fires to second one. They get the force on a beauty of a play by Johnny Peralta.
Johnny, for me, is the Gold Glove winner at the shortstop position in the American League. Just steady. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's showed surprising range this year, going to the left and to the right. And the accuracy with the throwing arm is second to none. There's some other guys out there like Asdrubal Cabrera in Cleveland who has made a lot of highlight, real type plays. J.J. Hardy in Baltimore is very good too. But for me, he's the winner.
Well, and I can't say that I disagree with that. He's not nearly as flashy as a lot of other guys, but he has shown that maybe his range is maybe a touch better than people thought.
Hardy has made 5 miscues this year. Peralta, he's made 7. You see the total chances. Johnny has more. Fielding percentage, obviously Hardy is better. Offensively, if you want to add in that, Peralta's been had a better year.
No balls, 1 strike. And Butera cuts and misses 0-2.
All the guys that we thought would win a Gold Glove coming into the season, guys like Andrews, guys like Alexi Ramirez, they've struggled this year. They have not been able to catch the baseball efficiently.
Got him, strike 3, and Fisker pitching out of a jam, his 5th strikeout. They leave a pair, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
As they come to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and the Tigers have had a lot of the situational players do really good work this year. Walk-off fashion. We've got Santiago. We've got Delman Young. We've got Rayburn. We have a lot of guys that have really contributed to the Tigers' success here. And the big people obviously get it done, but sometimes it's the table setters and the guys who don't play every day which allow you to go on a nice streak that they're on right now.
Which is one of the reasons why Jim Leyland likes to keep everybody involved. He's done a great job of that this year and continues to do so.
Jim took a lot of heat when he was resting his regular players in the middle of the season because he knew down the stretch they would be playing every single day. And for that, guys are fresh and guys are producing.
Ordonez leads it on. It'll be Maglio, then Young, and then Cabrera here in the Tiger 5th. They lead 2-0. Here's Diamond's 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Maglio on this one, a single and a strikeout. He has scored a run and now has hit safely in 11 consecutive ball games. And he walked him. Second walk for Diamond. Here's that trivia question again. Rod and I both missed on it.
I missed on it about 7 times.
Oh, you kept going?
I kept going.
Among active players, who has the most walk-off home runs with their current team?
Oh, how did we not get that?
I don't know.
That is ridiculous.
Albert Pujols with 10, then Tommy, then Ortiz, and Ryan Zimmerman is on that list with 8.
I had Chipper Jones. I had Ryan Howard.
You missed Fat Albert.
I had just about everybody. A-Rod, I couldn't get him.
1 strike on Delman Young. He's 2 out of 2 today with a couple of singles and an RBI.
He started him off with a fastball that time after the previous 2 plate appearances. Change pieces from Diamond to Delman. There's that change piece again.
0-2.
He loves that cambio. That's actually a breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball.
Look at you dropping some Spanish into the broadcast today.
Just a little taste.
Cambio. And that is a foul ball off the end of the bat.
Happy belated birthday to your dad, Dominic.
Oh, thank you.
85 yesterday, huh?
Well, actually, his birthday is tomorrow.
Oh.
But we celebrated it yesterday because I had the day off.
Well, it's not belated then. Happy birthday. Well, I'll give it to you again tomorrow.
You're ahead of the game.
What'd you get him? I know you got him something big. Well, all that loot you got.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the 0-2. That'll get away from the catcher. To the backstop it goes. And move the runner up.
It's amazing how with our schedules, sometimes when we do celebrate some of those birthdays and different things like that, we got to celebrate a little earlier, a little later because of our schedules.
You got to take your chances, pick your spots.
And they like us to be involved.
Wild pitch, moves the runner up. Tigers have 7 hits in this game, 2 for the Minnesota Twins. Here's the 1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Delman Young. Roll toward third. Fair ball there. Hughes on the backhand throws him out.
Hey fans, every game counts. Thursday, September 22nd at 7:05, the Tigers open a 4-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. Tickets are still available. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Final homestand of the year.
How about that? Well, they're going to walk Miguel Cabrera here with first base open.
Well, Victor has grounded into a couple of double plays already today, but doubt very seriously if he will ground into another one.
Now, Cabrera was walked intentionally on Friday by Ron Gardenhire, and it worked because they got Victor.
Yep.
Will it work this time? Stay tuned. This will be the 3rd walk of the game for Diamond.
Well, that's all he has done following a Cabrera walk this year. A cool 400 for Victor. Something else that Victor has been very good at this year, and that's on the very first pitch in any at-bat, doing some damage. Very aggressive on first pitches this year.
That is the 19th intentional walk for Miguel Cabrera. Jose Bautista leads the league in intentional walks with 21, but had it not been for the presence of Victor Martinez this year, Cabrera again would be leading in that category.
With Ron Gardenhire, you really know there's no surefire way to play this situation, but this is the best way to do it. You create the double play and you hope Diamond makes a pitch.
Swing and a miss.
And when you hear some managers describe the two, they simply say one guy is a Hall of Fame player and the other guy is an all-star every year.
Yeah, neither one is a picnic, but Cabrera is just a cut above most guys in this league. Another ground ball to short. This might be his third double play of the day, and it is. So Ron Gardenhire pushes the correct button that time. A 6-4-3 ends the inning. Is still 2-0 in favor of Detroit. Tigers got both runs in the first inning, then Fister has done the rest. He has kept the Twins off the board here. He's allowed just 2 hits. And he has the top of the lineup up there. Jason Repko leads it off. Breaking ball froze him, strike 1. Repko, then Plouffe, and then Mauer. He'll get back out of play, and very quickly Repko, who has struck out twice in this game, is now behind in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that one missed. Fister is working on yet another quality start. In fact, he has a career high 17 quality starts this year. That's rolled foul. And there's no doubt that just about every time that he's taken the baseball for the Tigers, he has given them an opportunity to win games. He has thrown 81 pitches in this game, and most of them strikes. Another broken bat. How about that? They've got a big old pile of firewood right now in the Minnesota dugout.
That fastball he has today, and the movement on it is incredible. Incredible.
Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Brandon Inge. Repko is out.
Let's take a peek at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch, and well, you listen. 5 broken bats today by Minnesota Twins hitters. Got one more for you. Amazing.
It's our audio pitch by pitch. There's a breaking ball strike. Trevor Plouffe. Couple of ground balls for Plouffe. One to the third baseman, one to the shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Plouffe now is 0 for 8 in the series. And the 1-1. That's in the air to center field. Jackson just about in his tracks. 2 gone.
You may remember Fister's last start on the 5th of this month. It was in Cleveland, and he was sensational that day. Pitched 8 innings, gave up only 4 hits, and he had an outstanding curveball that day. 13 strikeouts. Great curveball that day. Today, he really hasn't needed that really good curveball because he has such great movement with that 2-seamer running in on all the hands of these right-handed batters.
The 13 strikeouts, a career high in his last appearance.
Ooh, this boy can pitch.
Joe Mauer is 0 for 2, couple of fly balls.
Cleveland had a lot of left-handers in their lineup that day, so he went to the curveball exclusively with quite a few right-handers by Ron Gardenhire. It's the 2-seamer. That's the feature pitch today. It's nice to have a couple different weapons.
Two and one on Mauer. Joe 3 out of 7. He homered in yesterday's ball game, just his 3rd of the year, and he takes inside, run the count to 3-1. MVP of the American League back in 2009, just a couple of years ago, when he hit .365. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He lost him, so another walk for Fister. That is his 2nd of the game.
After the game, stay tuned for Tigers Live reaction, analysis, and highlights from today's game. Tigers Live from Call Sam Studios and the ballpark here on Fox Sports Detroit. And there have been some happy comments coming out of that Tigers clubhouse for the better part of 2 weeks now.
Strike 1. Up until today, Fister had not walked more than 1 in any start. He has 2 walks here this afternoon. Yet he has given up just 2 hits and has kept Minnesota off the board.
The thing about Fister, when you go up against him, if you're an opposing player, you can watch him on video and you see 90 miles an hour with the fastball. You see a breaking ball and you see an occasional changeup. You think you're going to at least get some good swings against him on any given day. Minnesota has not gotten really good swings today against Doug.
Rolled foul.
They are just fighting everything off. Very few balls have been centered today by Minnesota Twins hitters.
Oh, 0-2 on Luke Hughes, who is a late addition to their lineup. Danny Valencia, a late scratch. Another broken bat, soft liner. Fister hauls it in.
Got some hops too.
They're doing it all today. Breaking bats, making leaping catches.
Mr. Fister.
No runs, a walk, 1 left.
Coors Light 6th inning, and now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. If you're Duck Fister and you know you throw a lot of ground balls, the one thing you have to do is give yourself a chance to make some plays. And he has done that quite a bit in the Tigers uniform. When the ball's hit right back at him, he usually puts glove on it, and then he gets the out at first base. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
And here come the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th, trying to add to their 2-0 lead as Scott Diamond goes back to the hill.
Meanwhile, Diamond has been okay today. He's just kind of pitching in the shadow of Doug Fister. Gave up that 2 spot in the first, but nothing since.
Yeah, his pitch count's in pretty good shape as well. It's in the 70s. Rayburn the batter. Ryan is 0 for 2. 2 runs, 7 hits for Detroit. No runs, 2 hits for Minnesota. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Diamond is Canadian born, as we mentioned, from Guelph, Ontario. He is the 8th Canadian to play for the Twins. They've had some good ones through the years. They've had, of course, Morneau, who's currently on the team, Corey Koski, Jesse Crane, all Canadians. Strike called on the outer edge, and Rayburn is caught looking. 4 strikeouts for Scott Diamond. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Diamond also pitched for Team Canada in the WBC. Gave up the 2 runs in the first, has been helped out by 3 double play balls in this game. And all 3 of them, believe it or not, off the bat of Victor Martinez. First time Victor has done that. 3 double play balls in a game. High fly ball. Shallow center field. Benson started back. And there are 2 gone. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game. It is presented today by the Big Mac. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or simply vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. 2 gone now for Brandon. We're talking about Inge's walk-off yesterday. He's one of several players with 2 walk-offs this season. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers has 3, which is the most in the major leagues.
Matt Kemp, we got a real nice dose of him when we went out west, and he was playing some spectacular baseball. He might be the MVP in the National League this year.
He's a great player, which I guess is one of those things that makes interleague play special. You get to see the stars of the other league.
And we saw some good ones. Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez.
Strike called, 3-1.
Kershaw. Saw some good players.
He walked him. Brandon aboard with a 2-out walk. 4 base on balls now for Diamond. And that brings up Omir Santos. Diamond kind of bobbing and weaving his way through this game, but you look up and he's given up just the 2 runs. Got some big outs with Victor up there and some men on base. Santos said, "Excuse me, foul ball." 0-1. Tigers gearing up as well for that big series coming up in Chicago beginning tomorrow night. Porcello, Verlander, and Penny in those 3 games. Back out of play again, 0-2. Single and a ground out for Santos in this one. Inge a modest lead at first base. And another foul back out of play.
Santos is going to be very valuable for this team down the stretch. you've got a quality backstop catcher that can spell Avila and give him some blows so he can stay fresh in the remainder of the month.
Well, Leland also hinted at the possibility down the stretch of maybe Victor being able to catch before the season is over. His knee has gotten better, but with Santos coming up, I'm not sure they want to push that issue.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Why even go down that path?
Yeah.
But he's the skipper.
Oh, 2. Missed it low. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Omir Santos. Santos showed a little bit of power down at AAA. He hit 8 home runs. Knocked in 36 for the Mud Hens. Fouled away again. He's giving Diamond a battle here. Tigers got their 2 runs in the first with an RBI single from Delman Young and a double play ball off the bat of Victor Martinez forced in another. Meanwhile, Fisker has done the rest. And another foul back out of play. Terra calls time now, heads out to the mound. This will be the 8th pitch coming up in this at bat. Ground ball foul outside of the bag at third, just outside of that third base bag. Jerry Lane was right there. Jerry Lane says foul ball.
Hey, Jerry Lane in fox mode.
And the 1-2. This one will stay in play, hit slowly toward Tolbert. And that is that for Detroit. No runs, a walk, 1 left. On our way to the 7th. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Back here at Comerica Park on the National Day of Remembrance, September the 11th. The Tigers have made some defensive changes. Ryan Rayburn goes from second to right. And we have now Ramon Santiago playing second base for the Tigers. Santiago will bat in the Spot vacated by Ordonez. Doug Fister back out there. He's been awfully good today. No runs, 2 hits against Fister. Tigers have a 2-0 lead. And Chris Parmalee leads it off. And he takes strike 1.
By watching the way that Santos and Fister have worked here today, you would think that they've worked together all season long. But that is not the case. Only the second time that he has handled Doug Fister. The other occasion was in Tampa. 7 innings that day, no runs by Doug Fister.
Line drive to left, base hit. Parmalee goes the other way. Right now we go back to the studio. Time for a game break, and Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here it is 2-0 in favor of the Tigers. They lead here in the 7th inning.
And here's where Fister has one thing on his mind, and that's throwing a good fastball at the bottom of the strike zone to get the ground ball.
One ball, one strike.
Long time since I've seen a fastball that has this kind of movement to the arm side inside the right-handed batters. His fastballs are literally moving a foot inside.
Pulled to third, knocked down by Brandon. Fires to second for 1. Relay. Out of time. Hit hard right off the chest of Brandon Inge.
He stayed right there and took it like a big man. Fister says thank you very much. Benson must have some decent speed because this ball was hit hard. Took Brandon very little time to get the ball to Santiago, and Santiago has a very quick exchange and strong arm, but Benson was by the bag by a couple steps.
Benson was a very good high school football player. In fact, was going to play football at Purdue.
There you have it.
Before the Twins came a-calling.
There you have it.
There's a strike called on Rene Tassoni. One on, one out here in the 7th. Tassoni 1 for 2. His single back in the 5th inning, broken 0 for 17. Actually an 0 for 18. 1-1 the count. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Albuquerque is the right-hander, and Phil Koch is your lefty. Runner goes, waving a miss. Santos' throw is going to sail into center field on a bounce. Benson will stop at second base.
You talked about some of that speed. Gets a pretty good jump. Pretty good throw down the second base. It did bounce. Johnny not able to pick it, but had he been able to pick that cleanly, they get the out there. Just under the glove of Peralta.
First career stolen base for Joe Benson. Bouncing ball right side. Santiago scoots over there. Tassoni is out. Benson moves to third.
That is only the 6th stolen base against Doug Fister in 68 outings in the majors. Not innings, 68 outings. That is only the 6th stolen base.
Pretty impressive. It's a short list that Benson's on.
Wow. Talk about shutting down the running game.
Here is Tolbert now with 2 outs.
And in case you're wondering, 7 runners have been caught attempting to steal in his career.
The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh for 2 for Tolbert. Tigers out hitting the Twins today, 7-3. That's in the air towards center field. Jackson cruising over. And that is that for Minnesota. No runs, they get a hit, and they leave a man. Doug Fister outstanding again here today through 7. He'll take a 2-0 lead in the stretch. And this game is brought to you in part by Miller High Life. This summer, find out how giving back bottle caps can give returning vets a piece of the high life. For details, go to MillerHighLife.com. Fans on their feet here at Comerica Park on this day of remembrance. And right now, let's listen in to a performance of God Bless America by Peaceful Authority.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the
For the ballpark, Tigers on top 2-0 in this ball game. Doug Fister with the Tigers has 5 walks and 41 strikeouts in 8 starts this year. Ordonez extending his hitting streak to 11 straight with a base hit. And Tigers pitching in this series, allowing a 167 opponent's batting average and has an ERA of 2.16. They have gotten it done as they continue to do it again here today. The magic number down to 9. And hopefully plummeting a little bit more after today. Got a wall side windows pitching change in this one now as the Twins have gone to their bullpen. Diamond is done and Jim Hoey is in now for Minnesota.
And 21st time that Hoey has appeared in a game for the Minnesota Twins. He comes in with 1 win and 2 losses and an elevated earned run average approaching 7. And that bottom note as well, the opponents are hitting .329 against him.
And his first pitch is swung on and missed by Austin Jackson.
How in the world do you get hit that hard and your arm is this good?
Don't know. He's facing Jackson, Santiago, and Delvin Young. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Austin today 1 for 3, singled, scored a run back in the first. Diamond goes 6 innings, gives way to Hoey here in the 7th.
This much we do know. He is throwing straight downhill.
And he got him, strike 3. Jackson is punched out on 3 pitches.
6 feet 6 inches is Hoey, and boy, quick work of Jackson. Hey fans, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry, and get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826, or you can simply visit Tigers.com for all the details you need.
Here is Santiago, his first at bat of the game, after entering the contest as a defensive replacement.
Santiago has been playing out of his mind for about a month now.
Ramon has a walk-off this year, walk-off home run, that is. And he shoots one to left, base hit.
I see you, Ramon.
One
we
on,
see
one
you,
out.
young man.
That'll bring up Delvin Young. Santiago came in batting .320 over his last 38, so he's chipped in with another base hit. Delman today 2 out of 3. RBI, singled in a run in the first inning. All of our scoring happening in the first. Not a bad effort today by Diamond to his opposing Fister. Diamond gave up the 2 early runs, but that was it.
He was good.
And the 1-0. Chopped slowly foul, third base side.
And remember, there was a miscue in the infield by Tolbert, the second baseman, on a ground ball off the bat of Cabrera that probably would have gotten Diamond out of that inning unscathed in the first.
You got Martinez to bounce into 3 double plays.
Should have had 4 of them today.
Bouncer back up the middle. There's one. Here comes the relay from Tolbert and the double play. Another twin killing. 4 of them hit into today by the Tigers.
Afternoon, he only gave up 3 hits to the Minnesota Twins, and the one thing you love about Doug is the fact that he keeps the ball out of the middle of the plate. He also changes eye levels with the elevated fastball at about 90 miles an hour. But he broke about 5 bats here today with tremendous late life on his 2-seam fastball, running in on the right-hander's hands.
Mr. 108 pitches and another 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. Hardly seen that act before. It seems like every time he goes out. New pitcher now for Detroit is Joaquin Benoit.
And meanwhile, this guy's act is getting pretty good too. A 323 earned run average for Joaquin, and that really doesn't tell the whole story. His body of work for the better part of 2 months now has been tremendous, as good as it was last year when he was wearing a Rays uniform.
Brian Dinkelman will pinch hit here for Drew Butera as we go to the 8th inning. 2 runs, 8 hits Detroit, and no runs, 3 hits for Minnesota. Strike call. Dinkelman batting .308, 0 for 3 in the series. That's back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brian Dinkelman. Repko and then Plouffe to follow. Here's Benoit's 1-2. Fouled back.
I have to admit to you, buddy, I was a little worried about Benoit in April and May. And some of those numbers that he was putting up. First 15 games or so.
Well, I think we all kind of looked at the numbers last year and thought, wow, this is going to be really good. Because he was out of his mind last year.
Yeah.
But in the early goings, it was a struggle. Let's foul back again.
Wasn't pitching with a lot of confidence. There was no life on the fastball. First 17 games, 7.47 ERA.
He's gotten better month by month. Fouled off.
It took his old teammates to come back to town where he really started to right the ship. The Tampa Bay Rays came back to town. He had a hold in that series against them. He also saved a game in that series because Valverde wasn't available. And he has been tremendous since that time.
8th inning and 9th inning, just as Jim Leyland had envisioned it in spring training. The 1-2 fouled away. Now the other spots in the bullpen have kind of undergone some changes. I know, coming into spring training, Zamaya was thought to be one of the 7th inning guys, but Joel got hurt again. And Albuquerque came out of nowhere and solidified the back end of the Tigers bullpen.
What Albuquerque allowed Jim Leyland to do, and that was to send Slareth down and also send Perry down to get some more schooling. And they got some more schooling in the minor leagues this year. They both had a couple different stints down there, and they better because of that. But Albuquerque allowed him to do that.
Outside, 2-2 on Dinkelman. Brian made his major league debut back in June. The 2-2 lifted back out of play. This will be the 10th pitch coming up in this at bat. Tiger bullpen in charge of protecting a 2-run lead late in this game. Swing and a miss, and he finally blew him away at 94. Up in the zone as well.
Real nice, easy, deliberate delivery from Benoit. And then tremendous arm speed. That was one of the things that Benoit was missing when he was struggling in the first 17 games of the year. He was getting ahead of himself. He was rushing too much. He wasn't getting to a good balance point with that front leg. Therefore, most of his fastballs were up in the strike zone and had no life on them whatsoever. And once they made that correction, he got a lot better.
Joaquin is not allowed to run over his last 16 outings, and in that stretch, having struck out 18 batters now with the strikeout here at Dinkelman. There's a strike call. 2-1 on Jason Repko. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Struck out a couple of times against Pfister. Fouled away. If the Tigers go on and win this game and hold on for Pfister, he would be 5-1 as a Tiger. There's still some big outs to get, however. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss.
Tigers fans, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell the tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
2 up, 2 down, and a couple of punch-outs, and here is Trevor Plouffe. That is popped up. Shallow right field. Here comes Rayburn. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Benoit. Tigers baseball this afternoon presented by Bell Tire. Out of the 8th inning, Tigers holding on to a 2-0 lead here against Minnesota. Trying to complete the sweep here against the Twins. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Miguel Cabrera. Rene Rivera is the new catcher. Cabrera in this game has been walked intentionally, reaching on an error as well. 1 ball and no strikes on Miguel. Cabrera recently had a stretch in which he drove in a run in 7 consecutive games. Cuts and misses, 1-1.
He had that 34-game streak, too, of reaching base. What, he snapped that yesterday?
Yep. So a couple of long stretches for Cabrera. There's a ground ball left side under the glove of Hughes, who went down to a knee to try and play.
Well, way back in the first inning, if you're just joining us, this is how the Tigers scored. It was Austin Jackson who led off with a single, followed by a single of Ordonez. Delman Young the same way. Double play ball that wasn't turned, and that was costly. Because all of a sudden now you have 1 run scoring, and then you have another one scoring on the double play of Victor Martinez's bat.
It was ruled a base hit for Cabrera. Leadoff man on here in the 8th. And here is Victor Martinez. Not going to hit him at 4, is he?
Well, I'd have lost the house last time because I was betting the house.
Me too.
I'm homeless right now. You got an extra bedroom?
I do. I'm charging rent, though.
That's all good. Can I get some food, too?
Yep. Double play ball in the 1st, in the 3rd, and the 5th. Here's the 0-1. There's a line drive. Double play. You gotta be kidding me.
We're both homeless.
Oh my goodness.
You lost your crib too.
All you could do is laugh here, Martinez.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe that? No. He hits into 4 double plays. That was a screaming liner that looked like a double.
And nothing Cabby could really do here.
That's crazy. Oh well. The look on Martinez's face says it all. I got nothing for you, fellas. Two out, space is empty. Rayburn the batter. One ball, one strike. Driven to the air to center, hit well. Denson going back. He's going to run it down right at the warning track. Boy, Rayburn hit that ball hard. Inning over. We go to the 9th. The 9th inning, last call time now for the Minnesota Twins. They are staring a sweep straight in the eyes, and Jose Valverde is coming in now.
He's been outstanding this year. He is 42 of 42 in save opportunities. The league is hitting just 204 against the talented right-handed.
And Valverde trying to make it 43 of 43. He has had a lot of different types of saves this year, and here's the breakdown. He's had 13 1-2-3 innings this season. He's only had a couple that have been stressful of 30 pitches or more, and he's had quite a few that have been very quick. 10 pitches or less.
And pretty much getting it done these days with just a two-seam fastball. Very few split-fingered fastballs has Valverde featured this year, which was pretty much his signature pitch his entire big league career.
Joe Mauer, Luke Hughes, Chris Parmelee due up here in the 9th inning against Valverde. First pitch is a ball to Joe Mauer.
And one of the reasons why Valverde throwing a lot of those two-seam fastballs is the recommendation of Victor Martinez, who called him in spring training and said, you got a lot of good life on that fastball. You ought to use it a little bit more often. And, well, he took Victor's advice.
And the rest, as they say, is history. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1 on Mauer. Tigers today have out-hit the Twins 9-3. Mauer is 0 for 2. He had a walk in the 6th inning. Pfister pitched the first 7. Benoit came on for a 1-2-3/8. Strike on the outer edge. 1-2 on Mauer. Fouled away. Mauer is still alive. Tigers have the series coming up in Chicago beginning tomorrow night. It's going to be a long road trip, the final of the regular season, which will take them through Oakland and then Kansas City. And Jim Leyland's club starting to really zero in now on a Central Division title. This is a team that just continues to roll. A win here today would be their 9th straight. They need 3 more outs to get it. And Mauer takes off the plate.
Papa Grande thought he had strike 3 there.
Fouled away. Our attendance, by the way, here today, 36,972. And what has turned out to be a sun-splashed afternoon here in downtown Detroit. Final chance for Tigers fans to see their team until the final homestand coming up in a week and a half. And again the 2-2. Outside, 3-2 on Mauer. Twins need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. 2 runs in the first for Detroit, and both teams have thrown nothing but zeros up the rest of the day. Here's the 3-2. He walked him, and Mauer coaxes a base on balls.
Hey fans, later today join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall, the personal stories of some baseball's greatest legends. This week's subject is Frank Robinson, the only player to win an MVP in both leagues. Boys in the Hall today after the Tigers coverage here on Fox Sports Detroit.
I interviewed Frank Robinson once, and it was in the days of tape. You know, he had the cassette tapes.
Right.
And my tape snapped halfway through the interview.
Oh.
Brutal. I didn't have the heart to tell him, so I said, thank you, Frank.
Yeah, just pretended like he was still rolling.
Pretended like it was great. He kept talking. He was gracious enough to do it. I didn't want him to start over.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Luke Hughes. And a strike called.
It's a good at bat. And by Joe Mauer. 8 pitch at bat.
And it's given the Twins a chance. Hughes has 7 home runs. Here's the 0-1 inside. Valverde backs him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, well, the Tigers have hit into so many double plays today. It's about time for the Minnesota Twins to hit into one.
Little high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Valverde now has thrown 11 pitches, but 6 of them have been balls. Walking Mauer to start the 9th. Shattered bat, and it's going to loop down the right field line. Fair ball. Mauer is on his way to third base. He'll get in there safely. And the Twins are in business. Although it was another broken bat, they have runners at first and third. And nobody out.
And real good two-seam fastball ran in on the hands of Hughes, and he was able to fight that ball off. And Joe Mauer, after he saw the ball and where it was headed, no problem getting to third base.
So the tying runs are on now. Nobody out. Chris Parmelee steps in. And some work to do now for Jose Valverde. Parmelee today with a single and a walk. That's fouled off. 0-1 on Parmelee. Parmelee was considered one of the best high school hitters coming out of the 2006 draft out of Chino Hills in Southern California. Was going to play at Cal State Fullerton, but chose the professional route instead. And now the Tigers have some activity. Koch and Albuquerque. Again, that duo is warming up. Jim Leland doing all he can to keep this one from slipping away. The 0-1 fouled back. 0-2 on Parmelee.
I would suspect that Jim is going to give Valverde every opportunity to get his 43rd save. But if somehow Minnesota is able to tie this game, he'll go to the bullpen.
Popped him up. Shallow left. Here comes Delman Young. And the runners will hold.
Big out.
Parmelee is out of there. 1 gone.
Huge out.
Looks like Jason Kubel has picked up a bat. He will hit for Joe Benson. Oh for 3 with a strikeout career against Valverde. And the skipper starting to pace. There's a strike. 0-1. .282 this year for Kubel. 12 home runs.
And Jason is a free agent after this season, so he'll have a chance to shop his services elsewhere if he chooses to do so.
He got off to a nice start this year before spraining his foot. There's a strike. 0-2. In fact, he may have been headed to the All-Star game, but the injury kept him out of action. Now Valverde has gotten ahead. The crowd of better than 36,000 trying to make some noise. And a ground ball foul. Right at Cabrera.
Number 24.
Valverde walked Mauer. Hughes had a base hit, a broken bat single to put runners at first and third. Now with one out, Kubel is pinch hitting. Ground ball right at Cabrera. He knocks it down. He'll take the out. Run will score. But there are two gone now.
And too bad Cabby was not able to field that cleanly. That would have been, had they executed the throws properly, a game-ending double play. Ball hit sharp enough, but he was not able to corral it. Therefore, didn't want to force the issue by throwing the ball to second. Simply took the out. But look at where the runner is right now. If he throws that ball and fields it cleanly, that's a double play all the way.
So instead, one more out to get. Tying runners at second base with two outs. And the Twins' last chance is Rene Tassoni.
And here's where the infielders have to leave their feet. They have to get dirty. The outfielders are playing shallow enough to throw the base runner out if there's a base hit in the outfield.
The 20th pitch of the inning for Valverde is a strike on Tassoni. Hughes the tying run at second. 2-1 ball game. We're in the ninth. And the 0-1. Just off the plate. 1-1 on Tassoni. Whoa, was that close? That's a strike. 1-2. Almost 37,000 on their feet. One more strike to get for Valverde. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
He had to earn this one today.
And Valverde echoing that thought right there with that last celebration.
He had to earn this one.
A new club record, 43 saves. He passes Todd Jones, who had 42 in 2000, and the 43 come consecutively. Jose Valverde chops another one off the magic number. It's down to 8. And the last time the Tigers won 9 straight, May of 1984. What a stretch the Tigers are on right now as they win it here tonight, 2-1. Back with a whole lot more from Comerica Park.